Calling State of Michigan versus Michael Maurice Mobley, case number 2513605. Mr. Sakeley.
Good morning, Your Honor. Christopher Sakeley, bar number 23248, representing Michael Maurice Mobley for purposes of arraignment only with his permission. Is that correct, Mr. Mobley?
Yes.
For purposes of arraignment, we'd waive formal reading. He would stand mute.
Thank you. I'll enter a not guilty plea on his behalf. The matter will be set for a probable cause conference on December 1st, 2025 at 9 a.m. and for preliminary examination on December 8th, 2025 at 9 a.m. Mr. Mobley, you're charged at this time with one count of carrying a concealed weapon. That is a felony charge punishable up to 5 years in prison and or a $2,500 fine and mandatory forfeiture of the weapon or device. Because it's a criminal charge, you have the right to have an attorney represent you from start to finish. If you can't afford one would be appointed for you at public expense. I note that you're requesting a court-appointed attorney. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, we'll grant you that at this time. Also, because you're charged with a felony charge, you have the right to have a preliminary examination held within 21 days of today's date. At that preliminary examination, it's the prosecution's burden of proof to prove by a probable cause standard that a crime was committed and that you probably committed the crime. If they're able to do so, the matter would be bound over to the circuit court where you have the following trial rights. You have the right to have a trial in this case by judge or by jury. At a trial, you are presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. At a trial, you have the right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you. You also have the right to call witnesses on your own behalf. And if they won't come in voluntarily, you have the right to have the court order them to come in on your behalf. Also, at a trial, you have the right to testify if you wanted to, or remain silent if you wanted to. That silence cannot be used against you. Sir, do you understand then what you're being charged with, what the maximum penalties are, and what your rights are?
Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Sakeley, with respect to bond?
Judge, Mr. Mobley is 34 years old. He's employed full-time as a student and as a musician. He plays piano. He did have a CPL that expired in May, and I think he was under the mistaken impression that it was still valid. He did admit to the gun being in the backpack after a few minutes. There's no other crimes that were committed other than possession of the weapon. I did ask him if he had any weapons in the home other than this weapon that was confiscated, and he indicated he did. So I indicated to him that he's going to have to get rid of those weapons based on any bond he might get. Based on the facts and circumstances of this case, I would request a personal bond.
Thank you. Detective, anything from the PD?
I do think he needs some type of bond. This is not only will be his second offense dealing with the CPL. I mean, he has one with a warrant that he hasn't appeared for in court. It took 11 minutes for him to tell the officer that he had a weapon on him. He's obviously was cited the first time for it and did not understand, and now this is a second time.
Thank you. I've had a chance to listen to statements by counsel as well as the detective. I presided over the swear-to, so I'm familiar with the allegations. I also am in possession of the police report. I do note that the defendant did have another contact with an officer and was cited for failing to disclose to that peace officer that he had a CPL or was carrying a concealed weapon at the time. I understand, obviously, that the defendant did have an expired CPL that expired a number of months ago. Given the facts and circumstances of the case, while I don't find that a personal bond is necessarily appropriate, I will give him a cash bond with a 10% provision. As such, I'll set a bond in the amount of $5,000 cash surety or 10% with the following conditions. Sir, that you will personally appear for any court proceeding. You will not leave the state of Michigan without the permission of the court. You will immediately notify the court in writing of any change of address or telephone number. You'll not possess any firearm or other dangerous weapon. You must contact pretrial services within 24 hours of your release. Commit no new criminal offenses or activity. Must turn over all firearms to Bloomfield Township PD through a third party. Obviously, sir, you can't turn them over, but you have to have somebody else get rid of those guns and turn them over to Bloomfield Township immediately. All right. You are all set, sir. Good luck to you.
Your Honor, I just have a question.
Okay.
Do all weapons need to be turned over prior to his release or after?
Well, it might be difficult for him to get somebody to get them over to them before his release. I would say, I'll say within 48 hours,
Thank you, Your Honor.
he needs to have that done. They should be out of his house immediately, though. So, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.